Well, we've been following the heated, ongoing discussions about a proposed landfill in the Shepherd area. Pacific Steel and Recycling wants to use an area of currently undeveloped land and turn it into a place that can safely hold the byproduct of their processes. We turn things over to Ren Wadsworth, who has an in-depth look at the landfill's purpose and the community's concerns.
This area of grassland could soon be a new facility that would recycle what's currently discarded as scrap waste. But some nearby residents worry what other impacts might come from this construction in their community. Pacific Steel and Recycling has been working on plans for a new facility that would process what's currently discarded as waste from their recycling process. The proposed repository would store that auto shred residue or ASR material, which looks like finely ground dirt. It can consist of materials like rubber, paint, glass, or other materials. And Pacific Steel says the ASR would be transported to the new landfill in covered trucks before being deposited into a pit with a synthetic liner. It would then be compacted and buried under native soil to reduce any possible spread into the air or water surrounding the potential facility.
How we're going to store that material, we have a plan in place to be able to make sure that, we're good neighbors of the community. And so we have all of our protocols that we'll be able to follow to make sure that we're doing the same thing that we're doing now. We're just changing the location of where we're putting it at now.
Approximately 22,000 tons of auto shred residue, or ASR, is generated every year by the Pacific Steel and Recycling site in Lockwood. And according to Heath, currently available technology is unable to pull out recyclable materials from ASR, so it's taken to the Billings landfill. It's estimated that the new facility would process more than 25,000 tons of ASR every year, keeping it from the Billings landfill.
Now, that's going to be about at current prices, that's going to be an $800,000 to $900,000 hit. But on the flip side, that's 22,000 tons that we're not getting, so it extends the landfill that much more. To Pacific's credit, they've been really transparent with us from the start of this thing. They pulled us in and said, hey, this is what we're doing. It's millions of dollars for them to make this endeavor, so it's got to be beneficial to them in some point. From the city aspect, we just started a cardboard recycling program, on the sustainability side. So to see a really big community partner wanting to do the same thing because they want to pull more metals out and, save landfill space, kudos to them.
The facility would be built on the corner of Highway 87 and Shepherd-Acton Road, 6 miles west of Shepherd and 7 miles north of Billings. Plans have been in motion for the past year. However, many nearby residents say they weren't aware of the developments until late October. Community members say their main frustrations come from a lack of communication regarding the proposed facility. And once they began looking into the proposal, they say their concerns only grew.
Second biggest issue is the hazardous dust particles. There's no way they could possibly contain that. You can see the wind out here right now. This is normal and every day out here in Shepherd.
But there are other environmental concerns residents say could impact the efficiency of the new facility.
The soils are class 6, hard to work with, heavy clay. If it rains and you don't have gravel or a high grade and you travel, you're going to have tires that used to be 16-inch tires. They will become tires the size of semis. It's just hard the soil to work with. It's not an easy task to do any sort of work that they're anticipating doing here, because they're going to have to travel over a 320-acre area, and eventually they're in the virgin ground. So it's not to say they can't build it into something that works, but it's going to be difficult.
Rubus lives just down the street from the potential site and says he would prefer Pacific Steel to move their operation further from his home and other landowners, even if it would cause more expense to the company. His sister-in-law, who lives closer to the potential site than him, worries what might happen if the facility is built and a fire were to break out so close to home.
We are very close. The closest fire station is 10 miles away. This home would be gone. There's no way. Who's going to pay for a home? 1,350 square feet. That's pretty close, and 10 miles is pretty far away. I don't want to see anybody die, whether it's my family or anybody's family. That's DEQ says the safety first Well, there's two really big concerns, water and homes. Look at the history of Pacific Steel. Both of those are really big concerns, fire and water.
These concerns were echoed at a community meeting hosted by the DEQ earlier this week. Residents in attendance cited concerns with leaks in the liners at other facilities and how that contamination could have a huge impact on people. People also worried about an increase in traffic and wear and tear on roads near their residencies. Pacific Steel and Recycling's incoming Chief Executive Officer, Marshall Nick, says he has been in the recycling industry his entire life and that recycling and sustainability are the main goals of this proposed residue repository. Public comment for the potential repository is open until the 30th. Then the DEQ will take those comments and concerns into their next step of assessments of the proposed facility. Ren Wadsworth, Nonstop Local.
Great report there, Ren. Thank you so much. If you'd like to make your voice heard, you can do so by mailing your comment to the DEQ Solid Waste Program at the address on your screen, or you can send a message to the email address there. And of course, all of this information is on our website. As you heard, public comment closes in 1 week.